Are you playing Zenless Zone Zero as a free-to-play player? What if I told you that your journey to endgame could be sabotaged from day one, costing you months of resources and essentially bricking your account? Temporarily, of course. Thousands of players have expressed their issues with the latest remodel of endgame, how it's impossible to build more than 2 teams without playing since day one, and that you need to pull every new Shield 4 character to complete endgame. I'm here to tell you that almost 100% of that is flat out wrong. It's not about gotcha luck, being a whale, or being a Super Saiyan sweat. It's about hidden traps and beginner eras that players fall into every day, just because they don't know any better. In today's video, I'll do what I can to break down my own plans of progression on a brand new account, the same things you can do to avoid future mistakes of your own, and how to effectively prepare for any form of endgame in the making. If that's something you're interested in, then stick around to learn how to avoid the early game mistakes I wish I knew before starting my first Zenless Zone Zero account. Are you tired of losing? Are you tired of losing those 50-50s to bullshit? Well, don't worry, big dog, I got just the deal. Let me show you a popular website that helps gamers buy more for less. Not only can you score games for less, but they've also gotten a partnered top-up services, meaning you can buy your pulls cheaper too.
Oh, that's nice.
On top of that, Aniba offers something else I haven't seen any other site do: a 10% cash back with each purchase. Now I get cheaper pulls and my money back. But wait, there's more. Using my link in the description box will get you all set up to start saving more money today. Now get out there and go pull that new character. Henshin a go-go, baby. What's good, guys? Yoku here, and I'm one of the handful of Zenless Zone Zero creators that push the mentality that you can get better at anything with just a little bit of knowledge. I have countless videos on my channel helping, debating, guiding, and outright clearing some of the most challenging content in players' accounts. Now, I'm not the best player in the world by any means, but I will absolutely figure out the answer to a problem. Recently, I've started a brand new account to simply re-experience the story's gameplay at my own uninterrupted pace. At the time of recording this video, this account is free to play. A lot of changes have been made since I originally played Zenless on launch, which is kind of funny because for all the complaints I hear about for new players being unable to do things, you guys have immediate access to some of the most powerful resource tools in the game: events, disk drives, boss materials, and even the fully unlocked HIA. The ability to quickly teleport everywhere in the game before you even finish the main story of chapter 1 is huge. But doing this from my own perspective, I've realized where a lot of players can fall into some major free-to-play traps. Just to list off some of the major ones, we have prematurely pulling on the wrong banners or wasting pulls to build pity, over-leveling non-essential agents or W engines that won't be part of your main teams, not understanding the value of daily freebies and introductory mission rewards for long-term credit generation, and then lastly is rushing through the damn game to unlock in-game faster, whatever that means. This is the dumbest mistake of them all. Right now, some of you might be asking yourselves how any of these are free-to-play traps, and I'll explain that soon, but the better question should be, how do I avoid these mistakes? Prematurely pulling on banners should be an obvious one, but surprisingly, it's one of the biggest mistakes I've seen players admitting to online. How many times have you personally seen someone commenting about how they constantly pull on every banner, lose every 50-50, are worried about whether or not the pity is 80, 120, or 170, and somehow still don't have a complete team of characters they quote-unquote need? Almost every time, this is the result of players not actually having a solid game plan for themselves. Are you playing with the intent for your account to handle in-game content? Are you a story-only enjoyer? Maybe you're a waifu/husbando collector and nothing else matters. Questions like these are important to ask yourself because it's the first step in creating your game plan. I'll use my own account for example. I'm here to enjoy the story, but due to my natural experience with the game, I know that I'll also use this to challenge myself with an account that's as close to free to play as possible. That means what I do early on will matter big time once I get to late game. Here you can see the characters on my account. Pay attention to who I have leveled up. My main DPS is Soldier 11, and it was a huge blessing that I got her from the early standard guarantee because she recently got some mega buffs that put her on par with other fire DPS in the game. Because of that, my game plan was shaped around her entirely. I got lucky with grabbing a Pokera from the banner early and have used my pulls on the current Ye Wong banner because both Nicole and Lucy are there, along with Ye Wong, who would be an insane pickup right now as a brand new player. This effectively helps me start building 2 in-game ready teams at the start of my journey. This is also one of the rare, perfect times to break free-to-play status if a player wanted to. Never in the history of existence have we received a guaranteed character and weapon banner in a Hoyoverse game at the same time. And the fact that we have 3 insane agents to pick from is massive. Potential, unlike Sambi, is the second best attack DPS in the game. Astra is one of the best supports in the game, and Alice is the second best anomaly DPS we have currently across the board. Not only would I be able to guarantee a powerful agent and their signature W engine, but because of the spending event, I'd also be able to pick up a powerful supporting limited agent to complete a now 3rd in-game ready team. My current plan is to pull for Ye Wong and call it a day. In the event I lose the 50-50, my plans immediately change to going for Alice or Sanvi plus their engine, then saving my guarantee on the normal banner for Arya. In the event the luck of an anime protagonist is on my side, then I grab Ye Wong, Alice, and her engine, then save everything else for Arya or Yixuan. A plan like this works right now because the game blessed me with all of the best free supports and Pokera. That means I can build any team archetype I want with the free-to-play cost. My new worry is engines, which thankfully the new update helps us get free S-rank and powerful A-rank engines. This leads me into our next mistake, over-leveling non-essential agents. What does that mean? Don't waste resources and time on agents that are not a part of the plan. Earlier, you saw my account only has 5 agents with levels, one of them, Zhao, being leveled in preparation for Ye Wong. Because I'm early game, 1 day's worth of stamina lets me completely build out a character's skills, cores, and engines within my proxy level. Then, because I have so much to do at the beginning of the game, my Zennies and experience farm is designed to always let me invest into upgrading agents without using stamina to farm that stuff. A more direct example is something I spoke about on stream earlier this week too. Let's say you had multiple W engines for the same class, but one of them was an A rank signature for your character. If you were trying to min-max your resources early on, the best course of action would be to look at the engines and determine which of them is going to provide the most long-term value on your account for as many agents as possible. That doesn't mean you only invest into this engine forever, but just that it has priority over non-essential things. A pro tip that I borrowed from Genshin Impact is to level up the essentials for your main team in between your account ranks. You know how the game tells you things like senior proxy level needed to progress further? Each of my Soldier 11 skills can be raised to level 5 before I get soft blocked by senior proxy requirements. What I'm not going to do is raise every single skill up to level 5 and waste resources. Why? Because they aren't important to my goal. Soldier 11's damage as a DPS comes from her basic attacks, skills, and ultimate, meaning those 3 are my only priority to level up. Once each of them reach level 5, I move on to my next target. Within early game, you are mathematically guaranteed to complete 2 full teams by the time you reach an in-game ready account. But let's talk about what I just said here, mathematically. Too many players make the mistake of rushing through the game in order to unlock in-game. Why is this a problem? Because it's one of the main reasons players keep expressing how they can't build 3 teams or don't have the resources. Apply whatever reason you want after that here. The game is naturally designed for players to take their time, or at least a reasonable amount of time, to progress through the proxy levels and story so that each player can properly build their teams without feeling rushed. This is one of the most prominent reasons why I constantly keep saying that players naturally should have 2 teams that are in-game ready by the time they reach a level 50-ish status in their account. Another tip is that you don't actually need the perfect builds to clear, which I believe is a common misconception too many players blindly accept. You can absolutely clear without needing to max invest in anything. I do it all the time on purpose just because I'm lazy or have horrible RNG. But I'll talk about clearing in-game once we get to in-game. For now, your goal should be to pick 3 main DPS you want to work around, then start building those teams over time. Do not neglect what you already have on your account. Meaning, if you lost a 50-50 to Lycon, Grace, or Soldier 11, for instance, don't ignore building them just because they aren't the limited agent you want. Unless you're spending money, you aren't going to be in the position to be a beggar and a chooser. Work with what you have, not with what you don't. Do not rush through the game because you're starved for being a gambling addict. While rushing to in-game isn't the actual problem, most of you, especially free-to-play, won't be able to effectively clear any in-game content that's worth the poly. It makes it even worse for you because now all the time and free resources you would have used to build up your teams passively is going to feel like you need to rush their builds, which will put you right back in the situation we were talking about at the beginning of this video. Of course, at the end of the day, this video is targeted towards players who want to maximize their fun while strategically planning for the future. By calculating just a few steps, you can set yourself up early game so that you don't suffer the same issues many players already do because they didn't avoid these mistakes. Though I guess I understand players who have already made the mistakes and are looking for a way out. That's a little bit of a different type of video and needs a lot more personal examples from others. If that's you, just let me know in the comments down below. For my own account, some of you gave me some great advice in my recent community post, and I appreciate you for that. I'm still undecided on what I want to do with it status-wise, since the challenge of using lesser agents isn't really a challenge for me. The whole suffer the free-to-play struggle like us thing isn't real to me either, since I naturally have more skill at the game. I did really like a couple comments from Tony and Tangerine, for example, that basically said I should use my experience to explain how I plan, build, or clear in-game with the limited resources a free-to-play player should have and the teams they might use. I like that, which is why I made this video. So I'll keep you guys updated on that account. For now, I'm gonna get out of here. If this video is received well, I can start working on a similar video to help the mid-game players too. Just let me know in the comments or my Discord and I'll get started on it as soon as my new account makes it to in-game. And I totally get if you think the tips in this video might seem short, but I'm being honest when I say building an account for endgame is not as difficult as you think most of the time. The problem is a lack of knowledge, and the more of it you gain, the better off you'll be. I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.